Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet Marie Melendez, a 2010 graduate of Jobs Partnership, and Daschicka Streeter from 2021. She's our COVID baby. All right, Marie, I mean, that opening there and just your situation when we first met you, I mean, you're a single mom with 2 kids. You're basically homeless, living at the Orlando Union Rescue Mission and relying on public assistance. Just tell us a little bit about what was the most important thing that you got out of Jobs Partnership in that situation?
Well, the most important thing I got was that I work for God. I don't work for man. And that means when I show up on time. I make sure my uniform is clean, well ironed, my badge is on. I make sure I have a good attitude. I make sure that I come to serve, because that's what I'm there for. Also, another thing I learned was that I'm a steward of my children. My children don't belong to me, they belong to God. He entrusted me to teach them right from wrong. He also wants me to show him in his ways. And that's something that I learned in Jobs Partnership.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, you really are living out that God's design for work there. I love that. Marie, tell us a little bit about your experience in the program with the coaches. I mean, that was a big part of your experience as well, right?
Yes, the coaches were absolutely amazing. Perfect picture of professionalism. They showed me how to talk, how to dress, how to shake hands, how to look somebody in the eye. They were very busy women, and they took time out of their busy schedule to pour some hope into me, because I was hopeless at the time.
Yeah.
One of them went above and beyond. Her name is Bianca. She's actually here today, and I'm really shocked that she is here today. She went above and beyond. I just found out that my ex-husband had cheated on me for the first time. I was devastated. I texted her and I told her I wasn't gonna be able to finish Jobs Partnership. I didn't have the mindset for it. Well, Bianca was having none of that. She's like, I'm on my way to pick you up. We're going to Starbucks. I was like, okay. I cried on her shoulder. She listened to me. She showed me empathy. And then she helped me with my resume in that order.
Wow, that is so amazing. And Bianca's here with us today. And Bianca, thank you so much for what you did. I mean, thanks for being here too, coming up from South Florida. So Marie, you know, obviously what Bianca helped you to do, you know, I know she helped you with your resume and some interviewing skills and that kind of thing. And you landed the job at Advent Health as a health unit coordinator first interview, right?
I did. First, let me say, I love working for Advent Health. I'm so proud to be working for that company. I wear my badge with pride. I want to say that. Yeah. When I got my job, I was able to start saving money. Thankfully, I was living at the Orlando Rescue Mission, and they had a savings plan for me. So 75% of my income went into a savings plan. And with that, I was able to move out, pay off $15,000 worth of debt that my ex-husband was nice enough to leave me with, and and you know, the gift that keeps giving, and then I was able to go ahead and move out to a great neighborhood. I was able to turn on the utilities with no assistance. I was able to put food in my fridge with no food stamps. I mean, it was awesome. It feels great to just take out your card and pay for stuff and not wait for the government to drop a deposit off so that now you can feed your kids. Yeah. So, I mean, I was happy that I was freed from those chains. And just being able to move out the hood. I lived in the hood my whole life. And now we're out. I was a little late in coming out. I wish I could have done it sooner, but my kids are thriving where we live at right now.
Yeah, I mean, Marie, that's so awesome. Yeah. I was going to ask you about that. Like, what are your kids seeing? Like, they're seeing mom, this total change. You're going to work every day. You're getting up, going to work. I mean, what impact did it have on them?
Well, the first thing that changed was their zip code.
Yeah.
Game changer when you have teenagers. I promise you. And they see me and I get up and go to work. They see my work ethic, and now they are adults, and they could get up and go to work, and they mimic my work ethics. My son is actually general manager of Chipotle restaurant. He's only 25. And his store does great. I'm so proud of him. He just bought an Audi. It has a moon roof, not to be confused with a sunroof. I hear from my son there's a big difference. But so proud of him. And as for my daughter, she's growing and she's working, and I see her mimicking what we do. And I'm just so proud of her as well, and I know that she's gonna also grow and go in the right direction. And I just wanna say, we broke the generational curse that you are always talking about.
Yeah.
It is broken.
Oh my, Marie! You go, girl. I got to cut her off because she'll keep going. Thank you, Marie. That's amazing. Daschicka, let's turn to you now. So there's probably a little bit, as you hear Marie's story, some things that remind you of your own story. Tell us a little about the time you graduated from Jones High School in 2017, and then you got a full scholarship to FSU.
Yes.
So tell us, and then you came to JP. So talk about that time when you went to FSU, you graduated from Jones, FSU, and then enrolling in JP.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, I am so blessed to be here with you all today. And just to set the stage for a little bit, so while I was at the great Jones High School, I did some great things. Yes, whoop whoop. So while in high school, I actually was in Rollins College Upper Bound program. I studied at Cornell in Brown doing their summer college program. So I always knew I wanted to go to college. I was in the marching band. I graduated as the class salutatorian. And I had over 40 full-ride scholarships to multiple colleges across the nation. So after graduated, I decided to go to Florida State University. I packed up 2 weeks after graduation, moved to Tallahassee. I was there for a year, and things did not go as planned, guys. I went from spending 3 weeks in Germany on a cultural exchange program with some of my classmates to coming back home for summer break and getting an email that I was academically dismissed. Yes.
So you find out about JP. You're back in Orlando. That didn't work out at FSU. You're back here in Orlando, and now you started working in a low-wage job,
Yes.
and your self-esteem had taken a big hit, and you enrolled in JP. So talk about what you got out of the training. How did it help you?
Absolutely. So I came home in 2018, and I joined Jobs Partnership in 2021. I got a random newsletter in my email, and it wasn't even from Jobs Partnership, and I signed up. Best decision. It was pivotal in my growth and development. So one of the biggest parts is just Jobs Partnership helped me reconnect with my God-given purpose, right? And it allowed me to realign with God and God's word. So with that, when I came into the program, I kind of identified myself as a failure, right? As unworthy. And showing up to class for those 12 weeks, I had coaches and mentors who just showed up, poured into me. They didn't see me because of the things in my past or my mistakes. They valued me and loved me and appreciated me for who I was just there that day, not for the things that I've done. The biblical principles, those were pivotal. So I really enjoyed those lessons. And honestly, at the end of the program, I had developed a career plan for the first time, understood the difference between, a career and just a job. And I knew for the jobs that I really wanted, I needed to, pursue my bachelor's and graduate. So that was that. So when I finished the program, I got my first job in human resources. I went from making $18 to $25 to $28. So it worked.
That's great. So, I listened to that story, and we've talked about this, but have you thought about if you had taken the JP class before you graduated high school and went off to FSU, would it have made a difference?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, tell me how. Give me one reason why.
So it just would have made me more grounded in my identity. It would have allowed me to have more tools in my toolbox as I went out and navigated the world on my own for the first time. And so those things would have been pivotal.
Yeah.
And just understanding that I'm not alone in whatever challenge that I face.
Yeah, Daschicka, I got to brag on her. So, she had a rocky start with FSU, but she got her AA degree. She's now pursuing her bachelor's in organizational leadership. She's working full-time at Orlando Health, and she co-owns a business with her brother. This girl's knocking it out of the park. So exciting. Well, one last thing too, Daschicka, talk a little bit about, she's also involved in the community. She's giving back. So we launched classes at Evans High School for high school seniors, and Daschicka signed up to volunteer. And so she's been mentoring at Evans High School those students that are getting ready to graduate. Tell us about Liani and your interaction with her.
Absolutely, guys. So Liani is one of the most brightest people that I've met in the program. Liani was a high school senior when we went through the 12-week program, and I had the privilege of being her coach. Liani, at the very beginning of the program, she was very shy, very reserved, and anytime the speaker would ask for someone to share, she would always look away, look down, avoid eye contact. So she went from that to a few weeks later being the first to raise her hand, volunteer, share, give feedback, and she was so confident. But at the beginning of class, Liani made it clear she wanted to work at Disney. Right? She said that from the very beginning of the program. So with the end in mind, we decided to make sure we supported her in that endeavor. So with Jobs Partnership, we have an exclusive career expo where recruiters from all kinds of companies come out. And so Disney was there. So before the expo, Liani and I, we practiced her elevator pitch, right? We got her resume together. We practiced her handshake. She met with the recruiter, got the inside scoop on when the applications would open. She applied, guys, and she landed an interview. So before her interview, we actually did some mock interview prep through Teams. She had a virtual interview. I gave her feedback, and she aced it. She got the job. She didn't have to wait too long. And currently, today, Liani is thriving, guys. She's loving her role at Disney. She also, she's in school studying hospitality as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I just love what the two of you have shared with us, how you are passing it on. You're helping others come in behind you to figure out how to move forward. And so thank you for doing that. That's amazing, and the impact it's having on future generations. I think what you heard them both say is, it was really about their identity, how they viewed themselves and how they could really figure out a way to move forward. And they did that with an understanding of God's design for them. And then getting connected to a network of helpful relationships. That's the key, getting access to those relationships. And so, Marie, Daschicka, thank you for sharing your life, your stories with us today. It's amazing, and keep up the good work.
25 years of Jobs Partnership. Our board has been praying that 25 of you will join our 5-year transition team, that you'll make a 5-year pledge to help Jobs Partnership continue into the future like it has before. There's other ways to give. Obviously, if you're not prepared to commit to 5 years, obviously there's one-time give, whatever, we will be very thankful. But we really want to focus on these 25 5-year gifts. And I was so moved by that and committed by it that I told Mark, I'll match $150,000 a year for 5 years of what we get in 5-year pledges. So those of you giving 5-year pledges know your gift will be doubled. In Revelations 2:19, Jesus told John to write this letter to the church at Thyatira. And I love what he said. He said, I know your works, your love and faith and service, and your patient endurance, and that your latter works exceed the first. I love what Jobs Partnership has done for 25 years. But join me, join others in helping Jobs Partnership's latter works be greater than their first.